had to have drivers to, in the wintertime, they had the problem too of getting around with the snow. Of course, they didn't plow roads like they do now, and roads weren't like they are now that were kind of snow-proof, so to speak.
Ditches.
No ditches, and so it was a real problem for those people doctors to get out in the country, and they were just going night and day. Yeah.
Now you were sick with it. What do you remember being sick with it?
Yes, I remember having the flu, and my brother had it, and my sister had it, but not my dad and my brother that was helping him all the time. I had one brother, Dewey, was my dad's helper at that time in the funeral business, and he never got the flu either. I don't understand how that could happen because they were right in the middle of it, you know.
When was your brother born?
Oh, he was born. Oh, he was born about 1890, I think it was. Yeah.
Well, there's Charles.
Yeah, but I don't remember. I don't remember exactly when he was born, but he was old enough, you know, he was I suppose he was around 18 or 20 years old about that time. There was a lot of sadness and grief. I tell you, that piled on top of the fact that the war was going on.
What do you remember about World War I?
Well, I remember when they recruited the people, and when they marched them off, you know. And then I remember when the war was over. That was in November, and there'd been snow and water accumulating in our garden, and I remember I was out in the garden on a rubbery ice, skating around on the rubbery ice, and I heard the bell ring. They rang a bell at that time instead of a siren.
The church bell or the town bell?
The town bell, and also the church bell sometimes. And when the war was over, of course, everybody was so happy about it, rejoiced about it. But then there was a kind of false alarm for a little. But then in a few days, a real armistice came.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there was an announcement made something about it. In those days, of course, it was hard to get news because the only way you could get the news was to go down to the depot. And they had a telegraph there, and that's the way they got the announcements of who was killed in action and how the war was going on and so forth. But there was no radio or nothing like that, you know. The only communication was they had a telephone, but you could get on a party line and probably pick up a lot of news. But
rubbernecking, huh?
Rubbernecking on their, but people were anxious to go down and see if their relatives were still all right in the service. But I remember them going down to the depot and sitting in the waiting rooms in the depot for the telegraph operator to get some information. And